Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. Ugh. Yes, you need to condition for martial arts. What's up, guys? I'm Nguyen, OG Fitness. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, this channel is all about fitness for martial arts for older guys. Now, if you're young, don't worry about it. You won't be young forever. And with the right mindset and approach to training, you're going to go a lot further than, if you don't have them. Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about why I believe you need to condition if you're practicing martial art. And the reason why I'm making this video is that one of the guys in the comment section asked if it was necessary. Like, he questioned if conditioning is really all that important, because isn't the martial art you're practicing enough? Shouldn't that be enough? Just practicing your martial art will make you good at it. And why all this added conditioning that you see everybody doing, right? So there is a little distinction here. Now, if you're practicing a martial art that doesn't have sparring, okay, no competition, no sparring, then you probably don't need conditioning, right? And this is more traditional martial arts. So traditional martial arts, because you don't, there's no sparring and there's no competition, then there's no real danger of getting injured, because you're just practicing the martial art, but not, doing the fighting aspect of it, the fighting part of it. You're not developing that skill of fighting, and you're not sparring, so there's essentially no risk of injury. And usually in these traditional martial arts, there's conditioning that's integrated into the class itself. Like, I used to do Kung Fu when I was 13 years old. I did Kung Fu for 2 years, so up until the age of 15, 16 actually, so maybe it was 2 years and a half, I don't remember at this point. And there was a lot of conditioning in traditional Kung Fu. It was Hung Gar Kung Fu, Shaolin Hung Gar Kung Fu. And there was horse stance, you had to hold positions, you had to, do all kinds of stuff. So there was a lot of conditioning integrated into the forms, into the practices. And yeah, so there was some form of conditioning, like to make the body stronger, right? More resilient, more flexible, and all that. And in traditional martial arts, they focus on internal conditioning, so those breathing exercises involved as well. External conditioning, so holding certain positions for long, like basically isometrics. And of course there was some just the movements itself, the forms. They don't call it katas in Kung Fu, they call it forms, at least in that style. And so the forms itself were a way of developing these movement patterns and exercising and calisthenics at the same time, right? And then it's only when you get to black belt, that's when you have your basics covered, you have your fundamentals, the foundation is built, and then they teach you how to fight. Okay, so traditional martial arts are a little bit different in that regards. But if you practice a martial art, a combat sport that has, sparring and has competition, you have to condition. And why do you need to condition? And when I say conditioning, I essentially mean making your muscles stronger and more stable, okay? Because it's going to prevent injuries. The stronger you are and the more stable you are, okay, the less chance you have of being injured, of getting injured. And if you do get injured, you'll recover faster too, right? Or it won't be as bad. Now, also what it'll do is it'll make you faster and you'll become more explosive. But for your information, guys, okay, speed, being fast, that's God-given. That's something that nature gives. It's genetics, okay? You can only max out what you were given, what you have naturally. Yeah, so you can't actually, like let's say, for example, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a level, you're a 8, 10 on the explosive scale. But because you're not conditioned, you're not even at your 8. You're at 5. So if you condition, then you can get it up to that 8, if that makes sense. Okay. So that's it for this video, guys. I mean, I know it's a pretty short video, but conditioning is important, okay, if there's sparring involved. And I would argue that even if you're not there is no sparring involved, conditioning itself is still I would still recommend it, even if you're doing traditional martial arts where there's there's no sparring, so there's no real risk of injury. It's just gonna make it's gonna make you more fit, and being more fit and healthier and stronger and more resilient and being more explosive and all that, it's gonna allow you to practice even it's gonna help your performance perform even better, even in your traditional martial arts. Okay. And you'll see, like, it makes a big difference. There's a reason why people do it. I know that there's some guys who don't do it, but the one person that comes to mind is Marcelo Garcia, like the BJJ guy, who is known for saying that, oh, all I do is jiu-jitsu and then I ride my bicycle. But he's the exception, not the rule. And imagine this, like, he was super talented, okay, and he had, like, his genetics were probably predisposed him to a certain degree, to be able to get away with that. Now imagine if he would have conditioned, like, a little bit. It doesn't have to take too much time, guys. It's just a little bit. You could just do it after your practice, so you could do it. You shouldn't spend more than 20% of your time. So I always go back to the 80-20% rule. So 80% of your time you're training your martial art, 20% of the time, like, your conditioning. Okay, so that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that conditioning has served you, has not served you? Does it take too much time? Do you think it's necessary? What it was your experience? And of course, if you like this video, then subscribe to the channel. And if you want to ask me a question, find me on IG and I'll answer your questions directly. It's easier for me to keep track of our conversations there. Whereas in the comment section, I do my best, but it's a little bit harder sometimes. So that's it for this one, guys. Peace.